And we're back with HighFive. What's up, Caitlin?
Hi.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Thank you. It's always such a pleasure getting together with improvers, especially when social distancing is trying to tear us apart. We will not let it happen. But
we improvise. We came together regardless. That's what we're good at, right?
That's what we're talking about. That is the energy we want to bring with this situation. And, we always love getting together with you guys. You guys are such a unique set of improvers. You always have these awesome games. Just like different perspective I've never seen been brought to improv before. I was kind of gabbing with Caitlin about, some of the things that you guys have incorporated in your performances. And I was just kind of wondering, with all the spare time, do you guys ever just think of new games to throw out there just to kind of keep things fresh and interesting, like things that you guys learn in classes?
Well, we played a new game recently.
we played a new one today. I don't know if we love that one.
Yeah, but we have a WhatsApp chat with our team, and so
cool.
We kind of then. I think Arch really has been the one driving this, but just talking about using this time as kind of a time to just kind of shoot the shit and be creative and see what comes up, right now, really just in terms of brainstorming formats and ideas, what you were talking about, the games that we put into our long form sets, like, so if we get for, in our later Winter Improv League shows, we were asking the person next to the person whose suggestion was taken for our set to call out at any point during our set if they hear a line, that they like, say sounds like a song, for example. And then whoever the improviser was who said that would have to go into a song and, others could join, so things like that, just finding ways to kind of switch it up and keep it interesting. We'll see if this translates, once we can all get together in real time.
And the funny thing is sort of adding to what Caitlin was saying, like we did the amazing Winter Improv League. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast, and we kind of went into it sort of we were like, let's just go and jam and figure out how fun, because a lot of us have been in classes for a long time, and we've all done different performances and sets outside of Dad's Garage and Village Theater and other places, and this is a cool space, a cool venue. So I think a lot of when we were trying to come together with a format, we were like, well, let's not put walls up and define it on one or two shows. Let's sort of think about ideas, and I think it was very collaborative. We're like, what do we like? What are the games that we like? What are the things that we've perhaps taken from other classes that we've enjoyed, and sort of come together and create a format? And there have been a lot of ones that, Kaylin, myself, and AT, and all of us have, that was really fun, or this element was really great. And once we started, definitely like Sounds Like a Song, we sort of incorporated Party Room, which is like getting for a location that has multiple rooms. And we didn't do the same format every time we played, but it was like, I think we had one was a White House, and one was a pet store, right? I think it was a pet store.
A pet emporium that had a roof off to the side. Yes. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And we don't just talk about improv. I think that's the great part. I think some days, when someone's a little having a bad day, or somebody else is having a situation at work, or, whatever, I think we're able to find that tribe, that community. And I think improv has brought us all together, because at the end of the day, right, we deal with so many things perhaps outside of this improv space and improv world, especially in a time like now, and having, a few people that you can talk to and just sometimes listen to, I think is important, whether it's on an improv stage or in real life. And I think that's been really, really great for all of us.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I do miss about having that stage time, is working out the stress of the day, the week, on stage, and just playing that character. If I've had a crappy week, then I can play a grumpy ass character and just get it all out. And then at the end of the show, I'm like, oh man, I feel so much better. Thanks for going on that journey with me.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I think that this is a hard time right now. I think with everyone being away from the people they normally see, we all do have that need to kind of put ourselves out there and kind of just have that reflected back, like, hey, you're here, you're real. I'm witnessing you. And I think improv is so powerful for that. And to not have this, at least in the conventional way that we're used to, it is a little bit of a switch, which I think is what makes the friendships so critical right now. I mean, like in the chat group that we have, we talk almost every day, I would say, these days, keeping up with each other. And
kind of what you guys were saying about improv, right? It's sort of like larger than life, but there's still elements that are grounded. You sort of play an extension of yourself. you play maybe, something maybe you're not, but over time, you realize that, and I think we've all kind of like, oh, you always like playing the therapist, or there was one time I played the maid with a scarf. So I'm like, I play super high status or super low status.
We frequently play maids. It's interesting.
I love playing the maid. I don't know why. It's fun. And then it's like, the maid is power hungry and wants to get promoted.
I lately have been playing some very conniving characters, and I'm not sure where that's coming from.
What I love about improv is that you do get to get those feelings out, and then you do get to be like, hey, I'm here, I matter, and this is what I feel, and other people recognize you and welcome you in that. And it's something that it's just missing so much right now. I think people kind of turn a blind eye to what's happening because they're just trying to survive, but really it's very therapeutic.
I think I've done improv now almost 5 years in Atlanta, at least, and I was like, I don't think I've ever had a show or a class or a jam that I've ever walked out and felt like, oh my God, like whatever your energy is and whatever you come into it, I think you always like you go through this improv portal. And I'm like, I always leave with a great mood or fun sort of like feeling. And I'm like, I think that's the great part, especially in a time like now where the medium of art, art form, whether it's improv or stand-up or acting or music or whatever that art form is, in times like this, it's so much more important because this is what people are binging and hoping and putting our talents through and relying on it. And it just makes you realize, this is important. And of course it's important, but it sometimes takes the pandemic to be like, oh yeah, like this is cool. It's an outlet as well for us. So I'm always grateful for that.
I think there's something just really, really powerful about like what Archer's saying with improv. You can show up and whatever you're bringing that day, as long as you're not like an asshole,
Yes.
that's enough. That's fine. There are people there who will rally around you. And, if I'm like kind of flat today, Arch will be super high energy or vice versa. And, it all works out in the end, and just saying like, hey, whatever you're bringing is enough. I think we all need to sense that, I think it's powerful.
Sort of like analogous to life. Like there's a lot of things that sort of go hand in hand. And if you can bring that to improv, you can bring that to your daily life, whether you're an improviser or not. But like, finding those like tilts in life. Sometimes you have your high days and maybe you're not, every day is going to be so exciting, or being grounded and just being balanced, but, and, being sort of present in the moment. And for me, like I'm super type A and like I love planning, and improv throws all that out the window. No matter what your plan is, you better come in there and just listen and react.
Right.
And I think it's helped me be a better listener and sort of be more in the moment.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I do miss about improv is like that check-in. How is everybody doing? But I feel like if we could all have just a check-in moment whatever before we go into a group meeting or whatever, I feel like a lot of things would be like there would be a lot less miscommunication, because you could say, all right, well, Terry, he's having a day, so that's where he's coming from. So let's ease off of him a little bit and just ask the questions that are really necessary. And then somebody else is having a great day. We're like, all right, well, let's ask every question that we can to this person.
There's that improv game, which I love. And I think I've started using it a lot more. It's like the right before we wrap up, usually a class or a jam, it's like, what's the one most exciting thing that's happened this week or you're looking forward to? And I kind of like asking that to people now, instead of being like, oh, hey, what's up? Which is such a plain vanilla question. What is the most exciting thing that happened to you this week, or what are you looking forward to? And I think it sort of forced us to be like, oh yeah, what was the most exciting thing that happened? What if we're, whatever that is, it's like celebrating those small little wins. And I think finding joy in those little moments,
and just be there for one another, and be express gratitude for the little things.
And I always like this is like my little life goal mantra, or like kind of living by this sort of every day, or just, wherever you can. I think sometimes we all are quick to judge, or like, as Jonathan pointed out, like we don't know how someone else's day is or was, or perhaps is going to be. Maybe they got fired, maybe they got into a wreck, whatever it is. But I always am like, if we can find ways to be compassionate and be nice to people and treat the janitor the way we would treat the CEO, this would be it can be, it's so possible, but it's like, it just takes that attitude, that shifting of attitude. Be nice to people and be kind to them. And that's it. That's all you can do. Yeah. And if more people do that, we'll see a lot more people happier and, be, smiling. You don't need the money and the celebrity or the fame or the possessions or whatever people think you need to be happy. It's sort of like right here, and we can control and choose to be happy. So hopefully this will inspire all of us to be happier.
Yeah, that's some great wisdom and some philosophy tonight from from HighFive. We got to take a commercial break, so we'll be right back.
Virtual high five.